It started with a knock, a simple knock. Nothing loud, nothing aggressive, just someone standing outside the door. Inside the house was a teenage girl, home alone. She walked toward the door, looked through the window, and saw someone she didn't recognize. But he didn't look dangerous. He looked calm, normal, respectful. So she opened the door. And that decision changed everything. This is the story of Colleen Stan, May 1977, Northern California. Colleen Stan was 20 years old. She was hitchhiking to a friend's birthday party. Something many young people did back then. She had already turned down several rides that made her uncomfortable, but then a blue van stopped. Inside were two people, a man and a woman. They had a baby in the back seat. It looked safe, normal, like a small family traveling together. So Colleen accepted the ride and got inside. At first, the conversation was casual. The man introduced himself as Cameron. His wife sat beside him. The baby occasionally made small noises in the back seat. Everything felt ordinary, until the van suddenly pulled off the road into a remote area. Then everything changed. Cameron reached behind the seat and pulled out something strange, a wooden box. But it wasn't just a box, it was a device, a head-shaped container. He forced it over Colleen's head, locked it into place. She couldn't see, could barely hear, could barely breathe. And inside that darkness, her nightmare began. Colleen Stan would remain captive for 7 years. 7 years. Inside a wooden box under a bed. Sometimes for 23 hours a day. The man controlling her was Cameron Hooker, and the situation inside the house was more disturbing than anyone could imagine. Because Cameron's wife knew, she knew everything, and for years, she said nothing. Cameron created something he called the company. He convinced Colleen it was a powerful secret organization. He told her they were watching, listening. If she tried to escape, they would kill her family. At first, she didn't believe him, but over time, isolation changes the mind. Fear rewires reality, and slowly, she began to believe it. Years passed, and something even stranger happened. Cameron began allowing her outside the house. She babysat for neighbors, went jogging, even visited her own family once. But she always returned, because she believed the company would punish everyone she loved. That psychological prison kept her there longer than chains ever could. Eventually, Cameron's wife reached a breaking point. After years of living with the secret, she went to the police. At first, investigators didn't believe her. It sounded too unbelievable. But then they searched the house and discovered the wooden box, the restraints, and finally, Colleen Stan herself, alive. After 7 years of captivity, Cameron Hooker was arrested and later sentenced to 104 years in prison. Colleen survived, but the psychological impact of those years lasted much longer. Her story remains one of the most disturbing kidnapping cases in American history. Not just because of the captivity, but because of how the mind can be manipulated by fear. If you're still watching, think about this. For years, she could have run. She had chances. But the prison wasn't just physical, it was psychological, which raises a chilling question. How powerful is fear when someone truly believes they can never escape? Because sometimes the strongest cage is the one built inside the mind.